The night is quiet, yet your mind is not. Thoughts move faster than the dark outside your window. They circle, they repeat, they refuse to let you rest. You have carried the weight of the day into your bed. The words unspoken, the tasks unfinished, the worries about tomorrow. Anxiety is the mind's way of clinging to shadows. It does not trust silence. It does not trust stillness. It wants movement, even in the middle of the night. But here, in this space, you are invited to put the weight down. Not forever, not as a fight, just for tonight. The Stoics spoke often of the mind. They knew its storms. They knew its restlessness. And they offered not escape, but perspective. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment." These words are not commands. They are reminders. Anxiety is not the thing itself. It is your interpretation of it. And interpretation can be softened. So let us soften it tonight. Slowly, breath by breath. As you hear these words, notice your body. The heaviness in your shoulders. The tension in your jaw. The speed of your thoughts. There is no need to push them away. No need to force calm. That is only another form of resistance. Instead, allow. Allow the thoughts to come. Allow the body to settle. Allow the mind to grow tired of its own noise. You are not here to win a battle. You are here to surrender to stillness. Seneca once reminded us, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Anxiety is this imagination, a story told again and again. Tonight, you do not need to listen to it. You can let it speak in the background, like a distant echo, and still you can rest. So let these moments guide you, not to solve every problem, not to erase every worry, but to loosen their grip. Picture your mind as a guest house. Each thought enters, stays a moment, and leaves. You do not need to lock the door. You do not need to throw them out. Simply let them pass through. In this passing, there is peace. In this passing, sleep finds its way to you. The Stoics did not promise an easy life. They promised a life of clarity. Clarity comes when we see thoughts for what they are, temporary, passing, not the essence of who we are. So tonight, let us see clearly. Let us allow anxiety to loosen. Let us welcome sleep, not as escape, but as renewal. Every breath is an invitation. Inhale, accept what is here. Exhale, release what is not needed. The night does not demand you to be strong. It does not ask you to be productive. It only asks you to rest. And resting is strength. Resting is wisdom. Resting is an act of trust. Trust that tomorrow will come. Trust that you will meet it when it does. Trust that for now, silence is enough. You have entered this space not to consume more noise, not to add more weight, but to return to the ancient rhythm of stillness. This rhythm has guided countless before you. It will guide you as well. Let the words you hear tonight be gentle companions. Let them ease the edge of your thoughts. Let them guide you, step by step, toward quiet. Not all at once, not in a rush, but slowly. Like night turning into dawn. So rest here, listen here, stay here. The lessons will come, one after another, like waves on a calm shore, not to stir you awake, but to rock you into sleep. Sleep not as escape. Sleep as renewal. Sleep as a return to your truest self. Lesson on control. You cannot control the world. This truth is simple, yet we resist it. Every day, we resist it. We wake and we expect the sun to rise when we want it. We expect the traffic to move at our pace. We expect people to treat us as we wish. We expect our plans to unfold without resistance. And when the world refuses, as it often does, we suffer. Not because of the world, but because of the expectation. Epictetus drew the line clearly. Some things are up to us, and some are not. Wisdom begins here, not in knowing everything, but in knowing the difference. Pause. Breathe. Let the words land gently. What is not in your control? The weather, the economy, the opinions of others, the actions of strangers, the past, the future. What is in your control? Your choices, your judgments, your actions, your words, your silence. The list is shorter, but it is enough. It has always been enough. Think of your day. Perhaps someone spoke harshly. Perhaps a plan fell apart. Perhaps tomorrow feels uncertain. Notice where your mind runs. It rushes to fix what it cannot fix. It replays the scene. It predicts disasters. It tightens its grip. But grip does not bring control. Grip brings exhaustion. The tighter you hold the sand, the faster it slips away. Pause again. Unclench your hands. Feel them rest. This is control, not of the sand, of yourself. Marcus Aurelius prepared his mind each morning. You will meet with interference, ingratitude, arrogance, disloyalty, ill will, and selfishness. All of them the result of ignorance of what is good or evil. He did not wish the world to be kinder. He trained himself to expect its rough edges, so that when they arrived, he was not surprised. This is the art of control, not of events, but of the self who meets them. Pause. Let silence remind you. Consider anxiety. It often comes from confusion, from treating what is outside our reach as if it were ours to command, from demanding certainty in an uncertain world. Seneca observed, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Your fear of tomorrow is not tomorrow. It is an image in the mind. Your regret about yesterday is not yesterday. It is a memory in the present. Neither can be controlled. But your relationship to them, this you hold. Picture a ship at sea. The sailor cannot calm the storm. He cannot silence the waves. He cannot command the wind, but he can hold the rudder. He can set the sail. He can adjust his course. This is Stoic control, not over the sea, over the self. Pause here. Breathe. Imagine yourself as the sailor. Feel the storm outside. Now feel the rudder in your hands. What is within? What is without? Learn to tell the difference. Learn to live by that difference. Another image. Imagine you hold a bow. You pull the string. You aim the arrow. This is yours. But once released, the arrow flies into the wind. Where it lands is no longer yours. The archer does not control the target. Only the aim. Only the release. Only himself. So too with your life. Your aim is choice. Your release is action. The outcome belongs to fate. Pause. Let these images settle. What happens when you accept this? Anxiety loses its fuel. You no longer waste nights fighting shadows. You no longer demand the river to flow backwards. Control, rightly understood, is freedom, not freedom from life. Freedom within life. You cannot stop people from speaking. You can choose not to let their words wound you. You cannot stop time from passing. You can choose how to use the hours you are given. You cannot prevent loss. You can choose how to meet it with bitterness or with dignity. Each choice is small, but together they form character. And character is the truest control. Pause once more. Rest in silence. Tonight, think of one worry that follows you, a problem that repeats itself in your thoughts. Now, ask, is it mine to command? If yes, set a time to face it. Not now, but when the day returns. If no, release it. Let it float away as smoke into the night. This is not neglect. It is clarity. It is refusing to carry what was never yours. The Stoics did not escape life. They walked into it with clear eyes. They placed their energy where it mattered, on their choices, on their responses, on the strength within. Pause again. Let your breath slow. Let your body grow heavier. Control is not about power. It is about peace. It is about the calm of knowing, this belongs to me, that does not. So tonight, keep this first lesson close. Do not fight what is beyond you. Do not cling to what is passing. Do not demand the world bend to your will. Instead, hold what is yours, your thought, your response, your dignity. In that small space, there is great freedom. In that small space, sleep can enter. In that small space, you discover calm. So rest now. Let the night carry you. Let the lessons settle deep. You cannot control the world, but you can control the self. And that is enough. Lesson on impermanence. Everything changes. This is the second lesson. The Stoics knew it. The Buddhists taught it. Life itself shows it, again and again. Yet we resist. We hold on as if things could last forever. We cling to moments, to people, to feelings. We believe permanence is possible, but impermanence is the law of nature. To deny it is to deny life itself. Pause. Breathe. Let the truth land gently. Look around you. Every tree grows and then withers. Every river flows and then dries. Every season arrives and then departs. So too with your days. So too with your thoughts. So too with your fears. Heraclitus, long before the Stoics, said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it is not the same river, and he is not the same man." Marcus Aurelius echoed the same truth. Time is like a river made up of the events which happen, and a violent stream, for as soon as a thing has been seen, it is carried away, and another comes in its place, and this will be carried away too. Pause again. Feel the flow of these words. What troubles you tonight will not trouble you forever. The sharp edge of anxiety softens with time. Even the heaviest grief changes shape. Even the deepest joy fades into memory. Nothing stands still, not even you. This is not cause for despair. It is cause for freedom. When you accept impermanence, you stop clutching. You stop demanding eternity from what was only meant to be a moment. Pause. Notice your breath. It comes, it goes. No breath is permanent. Yet without this rhythm, there is no life. Impermanence is not an enemy. It is the condition of existence. Without it, nothing could begin. Without it, nothing could grow. Imagine a night sky. Stars burn, then vanish. New stars are born. The universe itself is a story of change. Why should your life be different? Why should your thoughts, your fears, your hopes escape this law? Seneca said, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." Worry imagines permanence where none exists. It imagines that pain will last forever. It imagines that uncertainty will never end. But the record of your own life proves otherwise. The storms you thought would never pass, did. The nights you thought would never end, did. The weight you thought you could never carry grew lighter. Pause. Remember, Call to mind a fear that has already passed. Notice how it once felt permanent. Notice how it was not. This is the wisdom of impermanence. To see change not as threat, but as constant companion. Consider the leaves in autumn. They fall not in tragedy. They fall in rhythm. They make space for spring. So too with your life. Loss makes space for renewal. Endings make space for beginnings. Even the body reminds us, every cell changes. Every 7 years, you are new. You are not who you were as a child. You are not who you were last year. You are not even who you were this morning. Pause again. Let this truth quiet you. Impermanence means this. Your anxiety will not last. Your racing thoughts will not last. Even your sleepless nights will not last. You may say, but what about death? The Stoics answered calmly, death itself is part of impermanence, not a punishment, not a mistake, but a return. Marcus wrote, do not act as if you had 10,000 years to throw away. Death stands at your elbow. Be good for something while you live, and it is in your power. This is not morbid. It is liberating. To know that time is short is to live more deeply in the time that remains. Pause. Inhale. Exhale. Impermanence frees you from perfection. It frees you from the illusion that everything must be fixed or held or saved. You cannot hold the wave, but you can swim in the sea. You cannot keep the dawn, but you can rise with it. You cannot stop change, but you can walk with it. Imagine now that your worries are clouds. They form, they gather, they darken, but they always move on. They do not own the sky. The sky remains. Your mind is that sky. Your worries are only passing clouds. Pause again. Rest in the space beyond the cloud, the space of sky, the space of stillness. Impermanence also means this. Tonight's wakefulness is not forever. Your body will yield to rest. Your mind will grow tired of its noise. Sleep will arrive, not when you demand it, but when you allow it. So let go of urgency. Let go of resistance. Let go of the need to control time. Allow impermanence to work. Allow life to flow. Each moment passes. Each thought passes. Each breath passes. What remains is the self who watches, unshaken, untouched, at peace. Pause. Breathe deeply. Let your body grow heavier. The Stoics knew this truth, that to fear change is to fear life, but to welcome change is to welcome freedom. So tonight, remember this second lesson. Impermanence is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It shows you that nothing, no fear, no pain, no moment lasts forever. Rest in that knowledge. Rest in that rhythm. Rest in the truth that even this night will pass. And in that truth, let yourself drift. Drift into calm. Drift into stillness. Drift into sleep. Lesson on perspective. The mind is a painter. It colors everything you see. It can turn small troubles into towering storms. It can turn ordinary moments into unbearable weight. Perspective is power, not over the world, but over how you see the world. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by things but by the views which they take of them." The event itself is rarely the problem. It is the meaning you attach. It is the story you tell yourself. Pause. Breathe. Let these words rest within you. Imagine two people standing in the rain. One curses the sky. The other feels the cool drops on their skin and smiles. The rain is the same. The experience is not. Perspective makes the difference. Now, think of your own day. Perhaps someone ignored you. You thought, they must dislike me, but perhaps they were lost in thought. Perhaps they carried their own burdens. Your story painted the moment darker than it was. This is the danger of unchecked perspective. We turn shadows into monsters. We turn silence into rejection. We turn uncertainty into doom. Pause again. Inhale slowly. Exhale completely. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, if you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it. Notice the word judgment. Pain arises not from what happened, but from what you believe it means. You wake in the night. The mind whispers, I will never sleep again. But is that true? Or is it just a thought dressed as truth? Anxiety thrives on distorted perspective. It magnifies. It repeats. It tells you stories you cannot verify. Seneca advised, we are in the habit of exaggerating, or imagining, or anticipating sorrow. Pause. Let that sink in. Ask yourself now, what story am I telling? Is it the only story? Could another perspective exist? Imagine your life as a mountain. From the base, obstacles look immense. From halfway, they seem smaller. From the summit, they disappear into the landscape. The obstacle is the same. The view changes. Perspective shifts the burden. Think of a time when you feared failure. Later, you called it learning. Think of a time when you lost someone's favor. Later, you saw it freed you. What once felt heavy became light with time. The event did not change. Your perspective did. Pause here. Rest in silence. Perspective can shrink worry. Perspective can ease fear. Perspective can guide you toward sleep. Consider the stars. The problems that fill your chest seem vast, yet from the view of the cosmos, they are a breath. A single grain of sand on an endless shore. Marcus wrote, consider the whole of time and the whole of substance, and how small a part of it you are, and how small a part of it is yours. This is not to dismiss your struggles. It is to place them in context. What feels eternal is brief. What feels unbearable is survivable. Pause. Breathe again. Now, imagine your worries as words written on paper. Hold the paper close to your eyes. The words fill your vision. You see nothing else. This is how anxiety works. Now, move the paper away. Hold it at arm's length. The words are smaller. You can see the room around them. The worry remains, but it no longer consumes your sight. This is perspective. Distance changes the weight. Pause here. Let your mind rest. You may ask, how do I practice perspective? The Stoics gave simple tools. 1. Ask, will this matter a year from now? Most of the time, the answer is no. What seems enormous tonight will fade with time. 2. Imagine the worst-case scenario. Face it clearly. Often, you find it is survivable. And once faced, fear loses its teeth. 3. Step outside yourself. Pretend you are giving counsel to a friend. What would you say to them? Why not say it to yourself? Pause. Let these practices settle in you. Perspective is not denial. It is not pretending all is well. It is choosing the frame through which you see. The Stoics knew, pain is real, loss is real, but suffering multiplies when the mind builds false stories around them. You cannot always change the event, but you can always change your angle. Think of a cracked cup. One sees a broken vessel. Another sees a reminder of fragility. Another sees an opportunity to practice patience. The cup is the same. The meaning shifts. So tonight, when thoughts disturb you, ask, Is there another way to see this? Is there a gentler frame? Is there a wider view? Pause again. Let silence answer for you. Perspective brings calm, because it reminds you, you are not trapped. There is more than one way to see. There is more than one story to tell. Your anxiety tells one story, a narrow one, a fearful one, but you are free to step back. You are free to choose a different lens. Seneca said, "We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than in reality." So remember this third lesson. Perspective shapes experience. Perspective softens fear. Perspective frees the mind. Pause. Rest. Let this truth settle deep. You are not the storm. You are the sky. You are not the thought. You are the witness. Shift your perspective, and peace follows. Lesson on simplicity. Life becomes heavy when it is cluttered, not only with possessions, but with desires, with comparisons, with endless noise. The Stoics knew this well. They lived with little, not because they hated life, but because they loved freedom. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Pause. Breathe. Let these words rest. Simplicity is not about owning nothing. It is about needing less. It is about loosening the grip of desire. Desire whispers, "More will make me happy." A larger house, a newer phone, another title, another compliment. But happiness slips away when it depends on what is outside your control. What you gain today, you may lose tomorrow. What you cling to, you fear to lose. Simplicity removes this chain. It asks, what is truly essential? It asks, what is enough? Pause again. Notice your breath. It is simple. It asks for nothing but air, and yet it sustains your life. Look around your room. Notice how much is unnecessary. Notice how little is required for peace. A bed, a blanket, a quiet space to rest. Simplicity is already here. The rest is choice. Epictetus lived as a slave. He owned nothing, yet his mind was free. Because freedom is not measured in possessions, but in detachment. Pause. Breathe slowly. Ask yourself, how much of my anxiety comes from wanting more? How much from fearing loss? How much from comparing my life to another's? The Stoics stripped life down to its essence. Food to eat, shelter from the storm, a mind trained to remain steady. All else is bonus. Seneca reminded himself, nothing is enough for the man to whom enough is too little. Pause. Let that truth echo. Simplicity is a shield against restlessness. When you want less, you worry less. When you carry less, you move more freely. Think of a traveler. One carries a heavy bag. Every step is burden. The other carries light. Every step is ease. Which traveler sleeps more peacefully at night? Which one wakes with less fear? You are that traveler. Each desire is a stone in your bag. Each attachment is another weight. Simplicity is putting them down. Pause here. Imagine setting the bag down. Feel your shoulders loosen. Feel your breath deepen. Simplicity is not emptiness. It is clarity. It is choosing what matters and letting go of the rest. Marcus Aurelius lived as emperor. He could have drowned in luxury. Instead, he wrote to himself, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." Even the ruler of an empire knew, peace is not in palaces. Peace is in perspective. Peace is in simplicity. Pause. Rest in silence. Consider your day, the rush, the noise, the endless tasks. How many of them were essential? How many of them were chosen only to keep up with others? How many were distractions, not duties? Simplicity asks for honesty. It asks you to separate need from want. It asks you to cut away the excess. When you do, the mind becomes lighter. The night becomes calmer. Sleep becomes easier. Pause again. Inhale. Exhale. Imagine the mind as a room filled with clutter. Stacks of old papers. Objects piled high. No space to move. This is how the restless mind feels. Now, imagine clearing it. One object at a time. Space opens. Light enters. The room breathes. So too with your thoughts. Remove what is not essential. Keep what nourishes. Let go of the rest. Simplicity also applies to words. The Stoics spoke plainly. They distrusted empty talk. Because truth is simple, and calm is simple. So tonight, let your thoughts grow simple. Let them return to the basics. You are here. You are breathing. You are safe. This is enough. Pause. Rest in these words. Simplicity is a practice. It is not achieved once. It is chosen again and again. Each morning, each night. Ask yourself, do I need this? Will this desire free me or bind me? Is this essential or is it noise? The answers bring clarity. Clarity brings calm. Calm invites sleep. Seneca reminded his friend Lucilius, by wishing to be everywhere, you are nowhere. The same is true with desires. By wishing to have everything, you enjoy nothing. Pause once more. Let stillness expand. Simplicity is power, because it cannot be taken. When your peace depends on little, little can disturb it. Tonight, let go of excess. Let go of imagined needs. Let go of comparisons. Rest in the basics. Rest in breath. Rest in stillness. This is the lesson of simplicity. To carry less. To crave less. To rest more deeply. Pause. Let silence hold you. Tomorrow will come with its noise, its demands, its temptations. But tonight, you can choose. Choose less. Choose calm. Choose sleep. Simplicity is not deprivation. It is freedom. Freedom to live with ease. Freedom to rest without fear. Freedom to wake renewed. So remember this fourth lesson. Peace does not require more. It requires less. And less is already within your reach. Now, close your eyes. Let your body grow heavier. Let your thoughts grow fewer. Let the night grow simple. And let yourself sleep. Lesson on nature. To live is to be part of nature. This is the fifth lesson. The Stoics reminded themselves daily, you are not separate. You are not outside the order of things. You belong to the whole. Marcus Aurelius wrote, all that exists is in a manner the seed of that which will be. Life flows in patterns. You are one pattern among many. Pause. Breathe. Let this thought settle. Look around you. Every tree grows toward the Sunday. Every river finds its course. Every animal follows its nature. So do you. Anxiety often comes when we fight this order, when we expect life to bend only to us, when we imagine ourselves apart from the whole. But you are not apart. You are within, as natural as the tide, as natural as the seasons. Pause again. Notice your own breath. Inhale. Exhale. This rhythm is nature moving through you. The Stoics taught that nature is rational. It has order, even when we do not see it. Events unfold as they must. Our task is not to resist. Our task is to live in harmony. Seneca said, "Let us follow nature and never set ourselves in opposition to her." Opposition creates tension. Harmony creates calm. Imagine a stream. Place your hand against it. You feel the force push back. Now release. Let your hand float. The same stream carries you gently. This is the difference between resistance and harmony. Pause. Breathe slowly. Think of the seasons. Winter arrives. You cannot will it away. Spring follows. You cannot rush it forward. Life has its winters, times of loss, times of waiting. It also has its springs, times of renewal, times of growth. To fight either is futile. To walk with both is wisdom. Pause again. Let the image of seasons ease you. Marcus wrote, "Constantly regard the universe as one living being, having one substance and one soul, and observe how all things have reference to one perception, the perception of this one living being, and how all things act with one movement. What troubles you tonight is part of that movement, not a mistake, not an accident, part of a whole you cannot yet see." Perspective within nature eases fear, because you are reminded you are not alone. You are not carrying the universe. You are carried by it. Pause. Feel the weight lift. When you see yourself as part of the whole, your worries shrink. The ego softens. The demand for control fades. You are like a wave in the ocean, rising, falling, returning. You are never separate from the sea. Imagine this now. Your body, your thoughts, your fears. A single wave. It rises for a moment. It falls back. The ocean remains. You are that ocean. Vast. Calm beneath the surface. Pause again. Rest in the vastness. To live by nature is also to accept limits. The flower blooms, then fades. The fruit ripens, then rots. The body strengthens, then weakens. None of this is failure. It is order. It is the rhythm of things. Marcus reminded himself, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." To accept nature is to accept time. To live while you live. To rest while you rest. Pause. Let your breath guide you deeper. Living in harmony with nature also means living simply. Nature does not waste. The tree grows only what it needs. The bird builds only the nest it requires. Only humans invent endless wants. But you are free to return. Free to need little. Free to rest in enough. Pause again. Notice the calm in simplicity. Nature also teaches resilience. Storms come. Trees bend. But they do not break. They root deeper. They rise again. So too with you. Adversity does not mean abandonment. It is part of the cycle. It is the winter before spring. Pause. Let this strengthen you. At night, when worry grows, remember the sky. The stars move in silence. The moon waxes and wanes. The earth turns without your effort. You are held in this order. Even when you forget, it continues. Even when you resist, it carries you. Seneca said, "Fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling. Better to walk freely than be dragged. Better to yield with trust than to fight in vain." Pause. Yield now. Let your body sink deeper into rest. Living with nature means listening, noticing when you are tired, allowing rest without guilt, noticing when you are full, stopping without greed. Your body belongs to nature. Your breath belongs to nature. Your rest belongs to nature. Tonight, do not fight it. Do not demand wakefulness. Do not demand answers. Let nature guide you to sleep as it has guided countless before you. Pause again. Let your eyes grow heavy. The Stoics found peace in remembering this. You are not apart. You are not against the world. You are within it. You are carried by it. So remember this fifth lesson. To live by nature is to live with calm, to walk with the seasons, to trust the flow, to rest when night arrives. The river does not hurry. The tree does not strive for eternity. The stars do not resist their path. Neither must you. Pause. Breathe slowly. Let this truth hold you. You are part of a vast order. You belong. You are carried. You are safe. Rest in that order. Rest in that belonging. Rest in nature itself, and let it guide you into sleep. Lesson on inner strength. Strength is often misunderstood. We imagine it as force, as control over others, as the ability to bend the world to our will. But the Stoics saw strength differently. Not in the muscles, not in the throne, not in the crowd's approval. They saw strength within, a quiet strength, a strength that cannot be taken. Pause. Breathe. Let the idea sink into you. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is inner strength. Not freedom from the world, but freedom from slavery to your impulses. The angry man is not strong. He is a prisoner of his temper. The greedy man is not strong. He is chained to desire. The fearful man is not strong. He is ruled by his imagination. But the one who governs himself, he cannot be broken. Pause again. Let silence carry the thought. Inner strength is calm in the storm. It is clarity in confusion. It is the choice to remain steady when others fall. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Notice his words. Not power over events, power over the mind. That is where strength begins. Think of fire. Throw straw into it. It burns brighter. Throw wood into it. It grows stronger. So too with inner strength. Obstacles become fuel. Setbacks become training. Every hardship builds endurance. Pause. Breathe deeply. Consider your own life. The times you thought you could not endure, yet you did. The weight you thought unbearable, yet you carried it. This is inner strength, not loud, not proud, but proven in quiet survival. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body. Do not wish for no difficulty. Wish for the strength to meet it. Do not wish for no burden. Wish to grow stronger through it." Pause again. Rest in silence. Inner strength is not the absence of pain. It is the ability to hold pain without breaking. It is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite fear. It is not the absence of loss. It is living with loss and still choosing dignity. This strength does not shout. It does not demand attention. It stands quietly, steady, unmoved by noise. Imagine a mountain. The winds strike it. The rains fall upon it. The storms rage. But it remains. That is inner strength. Not the absence of storm, but the refusal to be shaken. Pause here. Picture that mountain. Picture yourself as that mountain. This strength is available to you now. It does not depend on wealth. It does not depend on praise. It does not depend on fortune. It depends only on choice. On the choice to master yourself. Pause again. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. The Stoics trained this strength daily, by practicing discomfort, by imagining loss, by reminding themselves of what truly matters. They knew life would test them, so they prepared the mind, so that when the test came, they were ready. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The mind adapts and converts to its own purposes the obstacle to our acting. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This is the essence of inner strength. To turn obstacle into path, to turn weight into training, to turn trial into teacher. Pause. Let the words settle deep. You may feel weak tonight. You may feel restless. You may feel overcome by thoughts. But even here, strength is available. Strength is choosing not to fight the thought. Strength is letting it pass without clinging. Strength is lying in bed and saying, "I allow this moment. I remain steady." Pause again. Feel the steadiness grow. Inner strength is not found in control over others. It is found in control over yourself, over your reactions, over your judgments, over the story you choose to believe. The world can strip away many things: possessions, titles, reputation, even health. But the inner citadel remains, the fortress within, that cannot be touched without your consent. Marcus called it the inner citadel, the mind's refuge, the soul's stronghold. Within this citadel is calm. Within it is dignity. Within it is unshakable strength. Pause here. Imagine that citadel, solid, silent, untouched by the storm. This is yours, always, even now. So tonight, remember this sixth lesson. Strength is not out there. It is in here. Not in conquest, but in character. Not in dominance, but in discipline. Rest in that truth. Rest in the quiet power within. Rest in the citadel that no one can breach. Pause. Let your breath grow slow. Let your body grow heavy. You are stronger than you think. You have endured more than you remember. You will endure more than you imagine. Inner strength is already yours. It has carried you this far. It will carry you through tonight. It will carry you into sleep. So let go. Let the outer world fade. Return to the fortress within, and rest in your own unshakable strength. Lesson on acceptance. This is the final lesson. Acceptance. Life does not always give what you wish. It does not ask your permission. It does not consult your plans. It unfolds as it must. Not always as you prefer, but always as part of the whole. The Stoics did not waste energy fighting reality. They turned to meet it. They said yes to what is, not because it was easy, but because it was true. Pause. Breathe. Let these words rest in you. Epictetus taught, "Do not seek for things to happen the way you want them to. Rather, wish that what happens, happen the way it happens, and you will be happy." This is not surrender to despair. It is surrender to reality. It is the wisdom to say, "This is what is before me. Let me meet it with calm." Resistance multiplies pain. Acceptance dissolves it. Think of the rain. If you curse it, it still falls. If you accept it, you may even find it beautiful. Think of the night. If you resist it, you toss and turn. If you accept it, sleep comes. Pause. Feel the truth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Love only what happens to you and is spun with the thread of your destiny. For what is more fitting?" He did not mean to love cruelty. He meant to accept the fabric of life as it is woven. To take each thread, even the dark ones, as part of the pattern. Pause again. Inhale slowly. Exhale gently. Acceptance is not weakness. It is strength. It is refusing to be broken by what you cannot change. You cannot stop aging, but you can accept it with grace. You cannot prevent loss, but you can accept it with dignity. You cannot control the actions of others, but you can accept them without letting bitterness rule you. This is freedom, not control of life, but release from the need to control. Pause. Let your body soften. Consider the ocean. The wave does not argue with the tide. It rises, it falls, it returns. So too with your days. Consider the sky. The clouds do not resist the wind. They move, they shift, they vanish. So too with your thoughts. Consider the earth. It turns without complaint. It carries us all, endlessly. So too with your life. Pause again. Rest in these images. Acceptance also means forgiving yourself. You are not perfect. You never were meant to be. You stumble. You fall. You learn. The Stoics did not demand flawlessness. They demanded honesty. To see yourself clearly. To admit your faults. To correct them without despair. Marcus wrote, "When you have done wrong, be satisfied to be set right." No endless guilt. No self-condemnation. Simply correction. Pause. Breathe gently. Acceptance of self is peace, because it ends the war inside. You stop demanding to be someone else. You stop rejecting who you are. You begin to live as yourself, simply, fully. Acceptance of others is also peace. You cannot mold them. You cannot command their hearts. You cannot force their gratitude, but you can accept them as they are, limited, flawed, human. Epictetus said, "When someone is properly grounded in life, they shouldn't have to look outside themselves for approval." When you accept others, you release them from your demands, and you release yourself from disappointment. Pause. Feel the release. Acceptance does not mean passivity. The Stoics acted with courage. They worked for justice. They sought wisdom, but they did not waste energy on what lay beyond reach. Act where you can. Accept where you must. This is balance. This is peace. Seneca observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Much of it is wasted in resistance, in wishing the present moment were different. But the present moment is the only one you have. To resist it is to lose it. To accept it is to live it." Pause again. Inhale. Exhale. Rest. Tonight, acceptance means this. Do not fight your wakefulness. Do not resist your thoughts. Do not struggle with the night. Let it be. Let the thoughts pass. Let the body rest when it is ready. Acceptance is the doorway to sleep, because it ends the battle with what is. Pause. Let silence carry you closer to rest. Remember the river. It flows forward, never back. You cannot force it, but you can step into it. You can let it carry you. Life is that river. Acceptance is stepping in. Acceptance is floating instead of thrashing. So remember this final lesson. Acceptance is freedom. Acceptance is strength. Acceptance is peace. Pause once more. Breathe. Let the night hold you. You are not here to fight. You are here to rest. You are here to be carried by life itself. Acceptance is the end of struggle and the beginning of calm. So let go. Let go of the weight. Let go of the noise. Let go of resistance. Rest in what is. Rest in acceptance. Rest in peace. And let yourself sleep. You have walked a long path tonight. A path through your own mind. From noise to silence. From restlessness to calm. from anxiety to peace. At the beginning, your thoughts were loud. They chased each other without end. They pulled you toward the past. They pushed you toward the future. They left you weary, unable to rest. But step by step, lesson by lesson, you slowed the storm. You remembered what the Stoics taught. You let wisdom carry you. And now you arrive at stillness. Pause. Breathe. Let the stillness hold you. Think of the journey. First came control. You remembered that the world cannot be commanded. Events belong to fate. But your judgments, your choices, your responses, these belong to you. That truth lightened the burden. It gave you space to breathe. Then came impermanence. You remembered that nothing lasts forever. Not joy, not pain, not worry, not even sleepless nights. Time carries all things forward. The storm you fear today will one day be a memory. This softened your heart. It loosened the grip of fear. Pause again. Exhale gently. Then came perspective. You learned that things are not always as they seem. The event is not the suffering. The story you tell yourself creates the suffering. Shift the story, and the weight shifts with it. What once looked like doom can become a lesson. What once felt like rejection can become freedom. Perspective gave you clarity. Next came simplicity. The reminder that peace does not require more. It requires less. Less noise. Less comparison. Less desire. Simplicity freed you from carrying what was never needed. It reminded you that even here, with nothing more than breath and stillness, you already have enough. Pause. Let that word echo enough. Then came nature. You remembered that you are not separate. You are not alone. You are part of the whole. As natural as the tide. As steady as the turning of the earth. To resist nature is to suffer. To walk with it is to find peace. The seasons taught you. The stars reminded you. The river carried you. And then came inner strength. Not the strength of armies or crowns. Not the strength of shouting or force. But the strength of self-command. The fortress within. The citadel no storm can breach. You discovered again that you are stronger than you know. That you have endured before. That you can endure again. Pause here. Breathe into that strength. And, finally, acceptance. The last key. The release of resistance. The courage to say, let life be as it is. Not as you wish. Not as you fear. But as it is. In acceptance, the struggle ends. The mind loosens. Peace enters. This was the path. Control. Impermanence. Perspective. Simplicity. Nature. Inner strength. Acceptance. 7 lessons. 7 doors to stillness. Every anxious thought is just a passing shadow, but your mind, when still, is unshakable. Pause again. Let this truth echo. Shadows cannot touch the mountain. Noise cannot move the sky. Storms cannot erase the sea. So too with you. When the mind is still, nothing outside can break you. Tonight, you rest in that stillness. You rest in that strength. You rest in that freedom. The Stoics did not promise ease. They promised clarity. They did not remove hardship. They gave tools to meet it with dignity. They did not erase fear. They showed how to walk with it calmly. And you have walked with them tonight. Step by step, word by word, breath by breath. Pause. Notice the calm in your body. Heavier now, softer now, ready for rest. You are safe here. The night holds you. The world continues without your effort. You need not carry it. You need not solve it. You need only to rest. Let go of tomorrow. It will come. Let go of yesterday. It is gone. Let go of the need to hold everything. You were never meant to. Marcus Aurelius said, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." These words are not grim. They are gentle. They remind you that time is short, that this night, this rest, this breath is enough. Pause. Rest deeper. The anxious mind imagines endlessly. It clings. It resists. But tonight, you choose differently. You choose to release. You choose to rest. You are carried by something larger, by the rhythm of nature, by the order of life, by the wisdom within you. This is the truth the Stoics lived. That peace is always within reach. That calm is always possible. That dignity can be chosen at any moment. So tonight, let stillness be your teacher. Let wisdom be your blanket. Rest and rise renewed. Pause again. Let the words fade into silence. Sleep does not come by force. It comes by trust, by letting go, by allowing the body to yield, by allowing the mind to soften. You are safe to yield now. You are free to soften now. You are ready to rest now. Every anxious thought is only a shadow. Every restless worry is only a cloud. They pass. They fade. They leave the sky clear. And in that clear sky, you sleep. Not as escape, but as renewal. Not as weakness, but as strength. So, close your eyes. Let the night hold you. Let wisdom cover you. Let stillness guide you. You have walked the path. You have learned the lessons. You have found the stillness. Now let it carry you into sleep. Quiet, steady, free.